let's talk about the 100 Thieves stuff. Obviously, we saw the news today that Sean Gers will be stepping down as the head coach of 100 Thieves' Valorant team. Now, I know this is probably a massive surprise to a lot of people because, you know, there was no real indication that Sean was going to go anywhere. And unfortunately, I knew about this news for a few weeks. And I knew about Sean's situation. I speak to him. You know, quite frequently, I guess. Or not quite frequently, but I guess semi-frequently. And I'm sort of in the know as to what's going on. And I don't really feel comfortable talking about it, but this is basically why I didn't report it. And, you know, there was a lot of sort of... I guess there was a lot of things that it's just not my place to say, pretty much. It's not my place to talk about what's going on behind the scenes when it involves people like this. So, yeah. Basically, 100 Thieves have parted ways with Sean Gers as the head coach. I believe he's going to be moving into content creation. I'm pretty sure that's what the video said. So I believe that there'll basically be a complete restructuring to the coaching staff. I know DDK is still the general manager. And then Mike's, who was the assistant coach, is now going to be promoted to the head coach position. And the whole real reason why I knew about this kind of stuff is that there were several other coaches that also knew about this because 100 Thieves were kind of looking, I guess. It wasn't really anything formal, but, you know, this is basically what was happening, I guess, at the time. This was a few weeks ago. So, yeah, obviously, you know, in terms of the history of these guys, Mike's and DDK and Sean, they all joined sort of at the same time, and they've built a pretty successful roster. They built a pretty successful Valorant team as well. But I think that, you know, when something like this happens, you have to sort of question why. And I completely understand that, but I think it's sort of not really my place to talk about why. And I think Sean will probably discuss it in his own time. But I believe Sean will be moving to content creation. I'm not sure if he's still on 100 Thieves. I think he is. I'm not 100% sure on that. So that's basically what's happening with 100 Thieves. I might as well play the video.
What is up, everybody? I'm DDK, the general manager for 100 Thieves Valorant. And today we have a coaching update for you. I'm here with some unexpected and, for a lot of you, quite sad news. Sean Gers has decided to move on from the head coach position into a different role off of the team, pursuing content creation. We here at 100 Thieves support him fully with that journey, and we're excited for what he's going to be doing next with that.
Yeah, so working with the team over, you know, this entire season since stage 2, it's been nonstop, right? So since we signed in March, we were building the team. The second the team got built, the contracts were signed, and we had, I think, the open qualifiers in like 3 weeks. So it was just nonstop grinding for 3 weeks and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, right, along the way. I really appreciate all the hard work that the boys put in throughout the time I was on the team. But it's obviously very sad to leave the guys. Built up really strong relationships with everyone on the team, and I think we had a lot of success in such a short amount of time. Everyone's super tight knit. The transition is definitely bittersweet, right? Like, I definitely obviously miss like streaming and creating content for my fans throughout this time. And that was one of the hardest things, that as well as like I really missed casting. And
I think we've sort of got the gist of it, I guess. But that's basically what's happening. Sean Gers will be leaving. He'll be sort of changing to content, and then Mike's will be promoted. So that's what's going on with 100 Thieves. And I know a lot of people will now be questioning who's going to be the assistant coach and who is going to be sort of moving into this role. And as of right now, I don't know. I don't know who's going to be the assistant coach, if there even is going to be one. I'm pretty sure there will be one, but I don't know who it will be. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about Sliggy, and I know a lot of people are curious as to whether Sliggy will be the one to be the assistant coach. And I'm here to tell you right now, I have no idea, okay? I have no idea if Sliggy is joining 100 Thieves. I don't know. It would be a good fit. I think Sliggy is the type of coach where him and Mike's would work very well together. I think it would be a very good relationship, and I think that Sliggy is definitely a very, very, very good coach. Whether he would be a good assistant coach, I guess. I think the role wouldn't really matter that much. I think it would be more of like a partnership where you kind of have like two head coaches, I guess, maybe. I'm not sure, but I think that Sliggy is... I think he's too good, I guess, in a way to be an assistant coach, but I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure if it's Sliggy. I think if it is, it's a very good move. But as of right now, I don't know who the assistant coach will be if they are going to get one. So to sort of cover a bit more background about 100 Thieves, I made a report in late September, so last month, about them signing Cryo. And it was around this time where I also got wind that Sean Gares could be off the team. And it was quite early speculation at this time. But basically, following the conclusion of Champions, there was a lot of discussions, and there was sort of a lot of discussions with new players coming in as well. Obviously, I think everybody knows at this point that 100 Thieves were one of the teams that wanted Yay, and they ended up getting Cryo. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of different nuance to what sort of went down. I don't think it's my place to talk about a lot of it, but basically, what I can say is that everything was sort of happening behind the scenes during this period, and we could sort of go from there, I guess. But this is basically what's been happening with 100 Thieves. They've now obviously signed Cryo. They've got their full squad completed now, and obviously they will probably be getting an assistant coach to join Mike's. But as of right now, the roster is Stella, Bang, Cryo, Derek, Asuna. Obviously, Will is off the team. I believe he's unrestricted. I could be wrong on that. I'm not too sure. He might still be restricted. I really don't know. But that's basically what's been going on. So obviously, Will is free to find a new team. The hard roster lock, I guess you can call it, is in February. So we've got some time, I guess. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. 100 Thieves, obviously one of the few teams that will be competing in the International League next year. So everyone will sort of be looking at this roster. But I think that DDK and I think Mike's are very capable. I think they're very smart. I think they're very tactical minded, I guess, both of them. So I think that, I think these two will be fine. Obviously, losing Sean is huge. The whole reason why some players wanted to join in the first place was because of Sean and his sort of view on the game. So I can understand why it's a pretty big sort of hit for 100 Thieves, and I think it will be very interesting to see who they get to like replace him. But yeah, that's what's been going on with 100 Thieves. And hopefully, I don't expect there to be any sort of more major signings from 100 Thieves. But I think I guess the next big one would be if they sign Sliggy, and I have no idea if they're signing Sliggy. Obviously, he's the best coach on the market right now. So yeah, that would be a good option for sure.